Today's lesson is how to change a mixed number, also known as a mixed fraction, into a decimal. So let's get our title written for today. Whew, that was a long one. How to change a mixed number into an improper fraction. So let's do a pie problem. Let's draw 3 apple pies. And tonight we have a student in our class that decided to snack like it's Thanksgiving. And that student is the one, the only, Cam. So he decided to wolf down some pies. And these pies were each cut into fifths, or 5 pieces. Of course, it's the magic chalkboard. And we can assume that they are all perfectly sized and complete. All right, let's shade in with an apple color. Let's shade in the amount that Cam decided to eat. And I'm not telling you how much it is yet. That's what you're going to have to figure out. Okay, but he kept going. And then got full and he finally stopped. So, we first of all need a mixed number for this. So, if we're looking at a mixed number, what we need is we need to know how many whole pies Cam ate. Well, he ate 1 whole pie here and another whole pie here, but not quite 3. So he did not eat 3 whole pies, just 2. So our whole number for our fraction is going to be 2. Now we need to look at the leftovers. Okay, so we need to look at this. We can ignore these, because we already took care of them with our whole number 2. So now we need to look at how much of this last pie is left. This last pie, like the others, is cut into 5 pieces, and Cam ate 4 of them. So 4 fifths. A common error is for students and even adults to think, well, there's 4 and there were 15 pieces in all. We're looking at the size of the pieces, and they're 5th size pieces. So our fractional part is 4 fifths. So we now have the mixed number 2 and 4 fifths. If we wanted to change that into an improper fraction, which we might for adding and subtracting later on, and we definitely will for multiplying and dividing in 6th grade, there is a shortcut. Sure, we can draw the picture and we can count up how many fifths in all he ate, how many 5th size pieces, but there's a shortcut as well, and it's one that you guys can probably learn really well and do quickly in your head, so I want to teach it to you. First things first, we are going to look at our denominator, the size of the pieces, and our whole number, how many whole groups of 5 there were. Well, there were 2 whole groups of 5. So think, how many is that in all? 2 times 5, 2 groups of 5, or 5 times 2. And the way that we can write this or notate this is by just drawing a line. 5 times 2, and this is multiplication, is 10. All right, great. So far we have 10 fifths. Now we need to not forget about the 4 other fifths from the other pie, the last pie that Cam couldn't finish. So we're going to take our 10 and we're going to add our last 4 pieces. So 10 plus 4 is 14. And our denominator stays the same. We're still talking about fifth size pieces. And Cam ate 14 of them. Hope they were little pieces and little pies. Otherwise, I feel sorry for Cam tonight. So 14/5 is your final answer. Let's do one more together. Let's do 2 and 2/9. This time, we're not drawing a picture. We're just using the shortcut because we know what this could look like. 2 whole pies, and then not another pie, but 2/9 of another pie. We got started on it. So let's use our shortcut here. See if you can do the shortcut ahead of time before I do it, and then you can check your work and see if you got it right. So you go ahead and start. If you got that so far, give yourself a woohoo! And if you got 29ths as your final answer, give yourself a woohoo. So we got this by multiplying 9 times 2, because this means 2 whole groups of 9. So 9 times 2, or 2 groups of 9, would be 18. But we still have 2 more pieces left over. So 18 plus the 2 more pieces makes 20. We have 20 pieces, and they're all 9th size. Okay, review time. See if you know the answers to these questions. You do not need to write them down, but see if you know the answer to them. So, ask yourself, what is an improper fraction? Can you define that? What is a mixed number? Can you define that? What's the difference in a mixed fraction, between the whole number and the fractional part? And I'm going to give you a review of some things that we've been working on to see if you still remember them. Here are some problems from earlier lessons that you should be able to do with just mental math. These are not things that you need to write down, but see if you can solve them. Put this on pause while you solve, and then when you play it again, I will give you those answers. Okay, here come the answers so you can check yourself. Number 1 would be 4/15. Number 2 would be 9/20. And number 3, well, our denominator is going to be the total number. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3. 4 by 3 would be 12 total. Or you could count them all up, but it's nice to think of it as an array. It's a short multiplication trick. So there are 12 total. And the orange X's, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here are all the acceptable answers. You could write 6/12. You could reduce that to 3/6 or even 1/2 if you knew that half of 12 is 6 and you've got that exactly. We would call this 1/2 the simplest form, or the reduced fraction, which is what we would want all of your answers to be in eventually. But for now, if you had 6/12, that's great and you are right on track. All right, and now for something really fun. Homework. Your homework tonight is to create a problem to share with someone from your discussion group tomorrow. You'll be using your whiteboards tomorrow. You need to write down a problem in your how-to book right now that is a mixed number, any mixed number that you want. So it's got a whole number and a fractional part. You're going to give that to someone in your group to turn into an improper fraction tomorrow. Now, you need to know what the answer is so that if the person that you give it to tomorrow gets it wrong, you know that it's wrong and you can catch their mistake and help them fix it. So you need to solve this tonight and then be prepared to give it to someone and trade with someone in your discussion group tomorrow. You can get as creative as you want to, but it needs to be doable by the members in your group, and you need to be able to do it as well and come up with the answer. Have fun! See you tomorrow.